welcome, and thank you for tuning in to SM Enlightenment Radio or watching on SM Enlightenment TV. I'm Ayana.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are two healthy chicks. Happy Valentine's Day, Jenny.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day, Ayana.
So, I know that you do things a little differently. So why don't you share with our audience? Because I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, we started quite a few years ago, doing a special dinner with our kids, and we get dressed up and we do a candlelight dinner and we order out, so I don't need to cook. And it's just a really special time. The boys escort the girls to the table, pull the chair out for them, and we just enjoy a really nice dinner together. And it just teaches everyone how, for the guys to treat ladies, how girls to be expected to be treated, and just have a really special time together. And we look forward to Valentine's Day instead of it having be a time growing up that you're like, ugh, I don't like Valentine's Day. So it's been a lot of fun. We really enjoy it.
Yeah. I will say I got stuck on the not having to cook part. That was like the most intriguing to me.
Oh, that's the most important part. Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, we make it kind of fancy, but it's just we just pick up from a local restaurant, so it's not too big of a deal. It's just that I don't have to cook.
We did something a little different this year. We actually celebrated Black Love Day yesterday. So that's February 13th. Oh, nice. So yeah, something different, we'll bring a little flavor to the show. What's in your mug?
Very fun. I have detox tea tonight. Needing the detox. How about you?
I am right there with you. Detox all the way. It was very straightforward and to the point. Yes. That is what I needed.
Love it.
So we are talking about fitness, and I think it's a perfect time coming off the Mind, Body, Skin series that we did last 3 episodes.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's perfect too, with just thinking about Valentine's Day, and we think of hearts and heart health. And so just moving from all those things that we were talking about, but also fitness and exercise plays into being healthy, not just what we eat, not just what we put on our body. So definitely that's what we're going to be chatting about tonight. And so that fitness doesn't scare you. We are not talking about up and running a marathon or something crazy like that. Like, we're not doing that, even though I have many friends that do that, including my husband. But not, you don't have to go crazy all out, but we're just talking about getting up and moving your body and just doing that on a regular basis too. Just that consistency piece, with anything that we talk about is so important. So we're talking to you newbies, beginners. Don't be afraid. We're going to talk about some simple life hacks, some great things that you can do to just get your body moving, get your heart rate up.
Yeah, I think, you mentioned marathon, like you hear fitness and sometimes it's like, okay, just how deep into fitness are they going to go? We're, again, talking about simple life hacks. And yeah, we did have an actual guest a couple of episodes ago that ran, I think it was a 5K, right? So it's a popular thing, but that's not what we're talking about today.
That's right. But speaking of guests, we do have a guest tonight. So I am super excited for our guest tonight. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing him. He is someone who knows a lot about tonight's topic and is someone who is near and dear to my heart. My brother. So Joshua Greer is a strength and conditioning coach at Fordham University. And prior to that, he has worked with sports programs at Monmouth University and at the University of Delaware. So he enjoys working with athletes and developing year-round training programs to increase their strength, power, speed, agility, and mobility. So he draws on his background in physiology, body structure, and the requirements to play a variety of sports in order to write programs that best prepare his athletes for their sports. So I think we'll be able to learn a lot from him tonight, even if you aren't an athlete. So please welcome Joshua Greer.
Yay.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you all doing tonight?
Good.
As usual, we're having a ton of fun.
Yes.
Sometimes for no reason.
That's good.
Are you ready to join the mix here?
Yeah. I don't know if I can keep up, but we'll
So maybe we'll have to ask what's in your mug. So maybe get something to.
I don't have a mug, but I have a jug.
No,
that is awesome. One big jug.
My jug of water. Trying to live the jug life.
You get points for rhyming, so that was good. That was very
There you
good. Awesome. So tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you do at Fordham.
Yeah, so I like you said, I worked I interned at University of Delaware. That's where I did my undergrad. Started there, interned there, and then got a job at Monmouth, working as a part-time strength and conditioning coach. And from there, 6 years ago now, I
Wow.
transitioned to Fordham with my boss at the time. So I've been at Fordham for 6 years now. I work with my primary teams that I'm in charge of. I'm essentially the head strength and conditioning coach for our women's basketball program, our women's soccer program, our um, softball program, and then also our squash and our golf program that we have. So I work with those five teams directly, and then we all, I'm assistant for football, so we have football as well.
Wow.
So it takes up a large part of my day. But those teams, right now we're in the middle of basketball season, so that's one of my primary focuses. But with this, I don't know if you've been paying attention to college sports, but we are entering into the spring semester, and at the level of Fordham we sort of delayed all of our fall sports to the spring. So we have actually all essentially 22 teams are in season this spring. So it's a very busy time of year and very busy. This week was week number 1 with every team on campus, and we get 2 feet of snow. So
oh my gosh,
today was our actual first day with everybody on campus, and our team's going full go. So we had we started at 6 a.m. this morning, and last team walked out the door at 7 p.m. tonight.
Whew.
So thankfully I don't coach.
Wow.
I'm not on the floor coaching for all 14 hours, but it's a long day, but it's a labor of love. I love what I do. So
And you still found time for 2 healthy chicks.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
For my big sister.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And that's awesome. I knew that they were deferred, the sports were deferred to the spring, but I had no idea that that makes sense. You had started, and then just how crazy that's going to be for everybody. So that's really
the
amazing.
The basketball's been going. Volleyball had their first game tonight.
Wow.
Soccer starts in a week, so February, so it's cold. Softball is going to try to start playing in the 1st of March
outdoors
in New York, and outdoors. Yep, they're going to be outdoors. So,
wow.
And we have a foot and a half or 2 feet of snow on our fields right now, so they can't even practice on the fields until we, as we get them cleaned off. We're getting them cleaned off soon. So, but it's a hectic time right now in the athletics department.
Awesome. Man, that's crazy exciting. I mean, this is the stuff that like books are written about, movies are made from. I mean, like I see it happening now.
Yeah.
Starting. That's awesome. Well, I am so excited to get to dive into really your expertise, especially when we dig in the second segment about like specific routines and things. So let's just start off by just kind of generalities of the physiological effects of exercise. And specifically, I just want to start off with walking. I know want to just want to go with your student athletes necessary. Well, maybe I shouldn't make assumptions, but I know for me and for a lot of people, just walking isn't considered a legitimate exercise, but I have to say, so I have a little story about my walking thing. So I played sports in college, and I went to school in Western Pennsylvania, and, like we're having a winter now, like snow and cold all through the winter. And we had an indoor track where, we would work out. So I needed to do conditioning and working out and whatever. So I'm there, doing my conditioning, running and stuff. And old people from the town come and use the track and walk, and we're going around them. And I remember thinking, I can't wait till I'm old and I can walk for exercise. Yes, there's the picture. Yes. So like picturing like, oh, I'm old, I'm walking, and so here I am talking about walking for exercise. So I guess that makes it official. I am old. You can say it, Joshua. Yes, you can, because I'm the older sister.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jenny, if that makes you old, then I don't know what you have to say about me, because this is actually the first time in my life that I am walking in the winter. And that just sounds ridiculous as I say it out loud. But my sister-in-law, Becky, she joined us on the 30 Days to Healthy Living last month. And she invited me to join a challenge. There's an app called Way Better. And I highly recommend it because it's very motivational. Like I'm telling you, never in my life have I walked in the winter. Just like you said, it's winter wonderland out there.
Uh-huh.
And I literally went for my walk today, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. But she had me, join this challenge, and it motivates you. The challenge that I joined is a 6-week challenge, and it's technically a run challenge, but you have to keep an 18-minute pace. I can't run, sickle cell, lack of oxygen, all that good stuff. You'll see me passed out on the pavement. But
Don't want to see
I
that.
can walk, I can walk a 16-minute mile. So I joined. Here's why I was out there today with like 2 feet of snow, because you have to pay to enter the challenge. And then at the end, if you make it to the end, you get your money back, and you split the pot from those who did not make it. So as awful
That's
as it is to
motivation.
root against people in their health goals, I'm like, all right, who's dropping out this week? Because that sweetens the pot. So yes, January, I'm not sure. Thanks a lot, Becky. Love you, but I'm not sure what I was thinking joining a walk challenge in January. So there's that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that makes me old, but now I'm walking.
That's awesome. Well, and that makes me think of, have you guys heard of the 75 hard, that the challenge with Joshua? Who's the name of the guy that does that?
I should know this because one of my coworkers actually just completed it.
I don't remember his name. Bonus points if someone can hop in our Facebook group and mention it. We'll give you bonus points. But so what it is it's 75 days straight of several different things. One is a gallon of water, and one is doing reading, yes, you got your jug. But what made me think of it, though, Ayana, is that it requires 2 45-minute workouts, one of which has to be outside. So that's what made me think of it. So you would have people doing that. And if you miss any one of the things, like meditation is part of it, you're following a certain diet, whatever diet you choose, but something to do with your eating. So all these things that you need to do. And if you miss any one of them, one day you have to go back to 0. So, and start again, or day 1 the next day. So the outside benefit, and that's any exercise, but walking,
And there are health benefits to walking.
Yes.
Like, you carry your own body weight when you walk. So this is known as a weight-bearing exercise, technically. And some of those benefits.
So increasing cardiovascular and pulmonary fitness. So your heart and your lungs, get them pumping.
Speaking of the heart, it also reduces the risk of heart disease, which is the leading killer of Black men in this country, at almost 24%, according to the CDC.
Wow.
So, yeah, it reduces risk of heart disease and stroke.
Wow. And it gives improved management of conditions such as hypertension, which is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, joint and muscular pain or stiffness, diabetes. I mean, these are all common things we hear a lot about.
Yeah, and you hear like a body in motion stays in motion. So it leads to stronger bones, improved balance, and maybe that's why I can finally manage the standing tree pose in yoga.
Congratulations.
I don't know why, but for some reason my leg, like my foot always slides down my leg. And finally, I can do it. So
nice. Congratulations. We might need a demo at some point. I don't know, later tonight or another episode. Okay. All right. We'll move on. Okay.
You can't you just need to overlay that picture over top. No, you
don't
take a picture of me doing these standing
tree. We'll get that in there and get that added in. So people on the YouTube, be checking that out. We'll look for Ayana doing her tree post. Nice one, Joshua. That was awesome. And increased muscle strength and endurance. So that could also be part of why you can do it.
And here's my number one favorite: reduce body fat. I mean, who knew? Like, I always thought, when I was younger, in order to actually be doing something, you need to be running at like full speed for 25 minutes. Nope. Walking, as long as you're walking at a decent pace, get your heart rate up. Reduce body fat.
you joked about, with athletes, but we've definitely, used walking treadmill programs with some of our athletes just because, you know,
Hmm.
if they're in season or, out of season with all the running that they do when they're on the field or on the court, you don't want to increase their, pounding on their joints and their knees and their ankles.
Mhm, mhm.
So,
Hmm.
if you want to help reduce body fat, help, keep them in shape, they need a little bit of extra. They're not getting everything they need from the practice or the games. We put them on some walking programs to help them as well. So athletes do it as well.
Nice. See, it's not just the
Wow.
mature adults.
Yeah, look at that. Wow, I learned something new. That's very
You
cool to
know?
hear. So I feel better about doing my walking now.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
just you
awesome.
just validated us. Thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. And I love this one, and it makes you happy. So think of walking as moving meditation. So I love this because it's according to the Mayo Clinic, so it's accurate. Physical activity such as walking helps you relax and increases your body's levels of those feel good endorphins, which can then in turn lower your stress and your anxiety. So think about that. I mean, Ayana, I know you have a health group, a Facebook group. I have one. And how many times I've recommended to my group, to my people, just move, get your
Test
body
it out.
moving.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
makes such a difference.
It really does. And, today we hear so much about mental health, especially
Mm,
with what we're dealing with right now. There are many people who feel trapped. I mean, we, in a way, are trapped in our homes. And depending on what your home is like, that will lead to your mood. But it actually, walking can help with depression,
mm,
like being isolated and cooped up. All of that can bring you down. And just like you said, getting moving, getting out and walking a little every day can make such a big difference. My brother, this must be like the B&B show. I call him B&B. My brother is Brandon and my sister-in-law is Becky. So my brother invites the family to work out with them on Zoom sometimes. And first of all, they do
nice.
P90X. So I'm usually only down for the yoga because it's
That's serious
P90X.
stuff.
So yeah, really. I mean, they're hardcore. So
Mhm.
I was in the middle of a conversation with my therapist and she interrupted me and she's like, "Did you work out this week?" And I told her, "No." And she said, "You realize you tolerate certain situations better when you've worked out with your family." And ever since then, when I start to get a little frustrated with certain situations, I'm
Mhm.
like, I need to go take a walk. I gotta go take a walk. I'm gonna just go do that right now.
It's gonna be code name. I'll be like, Ayana, you need to walk. But that's interesting because so our doctors must be on the same wavelength because I had a checkup this past week and my doctor said that pretty much the same thing. She's like, exercise helps is very important for your mental state. And I'm like, what are you saying right now? She's like, I'm just saying like everyone is dealing with stuff right now with COVID and being cooped up. And she's like, you
Mhm.
can't underestimate, just getting your body moving, exercise. So yeah,
It's,
super important.
it's,
Joshua, did
it's
I cut you off?
no, it's a great way to either start your day or end your day.
Mm,
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
if you
agreed.
get out,
Agreed.
you have a very busy mind and you had a long day and you grab your partner, your husband, your wife, whoever, girlfriend, and you go for a 15-20 minute walk.
Yeah.
Even if you don't say anything to each other or you talk, you're just talking about your day, but it helps you
Mm,
unwind and sort of set you right before you even crawl into bed at night.
Hint, hint,
But
yeah.
Sykes. I've
Yeah.
been trying to get him on a walk with me for like over a year. He refuses. It's just a walk. It's a walk.
There you go. See, Joshua said so. Straight from him. And so it's also interesting that walking also has been shown to boost creativity. So if you're, do it like, that's great. Do it before bed, like before you're journaling or first thing in the day when you have something, just getting your day going. But it's interesting. Friedrich Nietzsche said, Thomas Jefferson has been quoted, and Charles Dickens have quotes about the importance of walking and the connection to creativity that it brings. So I think that's pretty fascinating as well.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wonder if one of my friends is listening. We just learned last night that she's really into stickers, and that's like her way of journaling. So I'm thinking about her right now, and I'm like, yeah, take a
Ah,
walk before you get into your stickering. You'll have your whole week set
yes.
up in like an hour. Takes her like 3 hours. Love you.
And it's interesting too that they said in the studies have shown that like walking outside for the creativity is really key as opposed to just being indoor on a treadmill because you're the difference for mind stimulation and
The
seeing different
environment.
things. Yep, different
Mhm.
environment. And so I thought this was interesting. A study was done, survey showed that Americans spend 87% of their time indoors. And I don't know if that was pre-COVID or not, so it could be even higher.
That would
Isn't
be
that
scary if it was
sad?
pre-COVID, honestly.
I,
But I mean, I
that's
guess if you think about it, if you don't work outside, you're going from one indoor location to the next.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So call to action is get outside. Go outside,
Yeah,
even with the
seriously.
snow.
Vitamin D.
Yes. Oh yeah. Vitamin D is a whole another topic. Yep. Northeast, like it's been documented very well, or in Northeast or
Yeah.
anywhere where the sun doesn't, isn't out all the time, very low vitamin D. And that has a huge effect on our health. Yeah, absolutely. And I am curious about sweat, working out and sweating. So we know that sweat is good, that it expels toxins, and it's a very good thing for our body. So it's one of the ways that we get rid of toxins. So that's very good. But a question is,
Do you have to sweat to get a good workout?
hmm. So that is a good question. Yeah, I don't know if we have enough time in this segment. We might have to hold you over to the second half to be able to answer that. But I'll answer. I'll give an answer, Ayanna. You give an answer, and we'll get
Sure.
Joshua's answer in the second segment. But I would it's funny. This is a funny one for me because I used to think like you're not working out unless you're sweating. Like you gotta like work out hard and stuff. But I definitely, as I've gotten older, I think that yes, exactly. That's me like working it hard. But I don't think because like we've talked about yoga, we've talked about a lot of other things that you're not necessarily sweating during that workout, but you're still getting a very good workout. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I hope that the answer is no. I really do because I rarely sweat. And I think the only time that I sweat is when I'm on the bike, which who knows when the last time that has happened. But even then, it's like just a slight moisture. It's not even like beads of sweat. So if we have to sweat to get a good workout, I clearly have not worked out in years. So let's just hope that the answer is no.
that's
So
awesome.
stick around. We're going to go to a break and we will get the final answer to that question. But yeah, stick around. We will be right back to Healthy Chicks on SM Enlightenment Radio.
See you soon.
Welcome back to Two Healthy Chicks on SM Enlightenment Radio. We are talking about fitness today. And when we left off, we had a little bit of a cliffhanger. The question is, do you have to sweat to get a good workout?
So Anna, you said no. Jenny, you said
I said no. I
no.
used to be yes, but I've changed it to no.
It's it's a loaded question because it can be yes or no, but it's mainly no, because it sweating can have a lot of different factors into how much you sweat, what you sweat, how much you're drinking, what your hydration levels are, the environment you're in. You might
Mm,
be in colder weather, so you're not going to sweat quite as much. You might be, um, you know, then again, you might be in a hotter weather with wearing a sweatshirt, so you're going to sweat. We have some athletes that, you know, uh, when I train, I don't sweat a ton. Sometimes I think I'm in a perpetual state of dehydration, which isn't good. So that's why I'm trying to get on my
With that jug of
life.
water.
Yeah.
But then you have some athletes that there's puddles underneath them as they go. So it has a very varying range. But no, in general, no, you don't have to sweat to get a good workout and push yourself.
So, what would you say for people who are new to exercise, right? Because fitness sometimes can be an overwhelming conversation depending on who you're discussing it with. But what would you say is like the easiest way for people to just get involved somehow?
Honestly, it's just committing to taking that first step. Is, hey, what can I do today? And everyone's a little bit different in how they structure their day. But during the pandemic, when I first started, we were sent home. I made a list of what I wanted to do in the day, and one of them was 45-minute walk outside in the woods near me. But if I had that list, that was my commitment to getting outside. Or hey, I'm going to do I only have 15 minutes of my day. I'm going to do a quick semi high intensity workout, or I'm just going to start moving. I'm going to do a body weight workout or a Tabata workout, and we can go into more of those, but just committing, making that first step and saying, all right, I'm going to do it today. All right, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And me personally, I found when I, rely on, I commit to someone else to doing it,
Yeah.
that will cause me to do it. So, if I'm like, talking with my coworkers, hey, we're going to train at, 9 tomorrow. All right, I'm going to train at 9 tomorrow with them. And then if I don't do it,
Accountability
I'm
partner.
letting them down versus, I'm going to do it. But
Mm-hmm.
if no one's relying on me, then I can do it or I cannot do it, type thing. So it's finding that commitment to take the first step and saying, all right, I want to be active today. I want to do 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk. I want to go around the block. I want to, take my dog for a walk, a little bit longer than normal. Whatever it may be, just finding that first step to take.
I love
That makes
that.
perfect sense. Just having it written down and then also having an accountability partner. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of goes with goal setting and things like, just actually writing it down. There's something to that. And just, stating it. And I love the accountability partner because it's so easy for us to say, yeah, I'm going to do this and just kind of tell yourself in your head. And then you can fake yourself out and be like, oh, it was just one day. Oh, I'll get started tomorrow. Then when you have another person holding you accountable, yeah, makes a difference. So what was that Tabata?
Tabata.
Yeah.
So
What's that?
Tabata is actually one of the programs that I'll use with a lot of my athletes. They like to call it they call it a Josh Bada sometimes. But that's the softball team likes to do that. But it's essentially you take an exercise, whatever it may be, and it's easy to do with body weight exercises. So, but it really works on time. So you work for 20 seconds. And then you rest for 10, and then you do it for a certain amount of rounds. Usually we'll work for 20, rest for 10. We'll do 8 rounds. So it's a 4-minute, you're, on 20, off 10, 2 rounds in a minute, 4 rounds in 8 rounds in 4 minutes. And we'll do, you'll do squat. So you'll squat for 20 seconds, rest for 10. Squat for 20 seconds, rest for 10. Squat for 20 seconds, rest for 10. And your goal when you do it is to get as many reps as you can within that 20 seconds. So we'll go, and then you rest. For me, with my athletes, I make it a competition. We always like to compete. We always are trying to find a way to compete. So we score it. So you have to hit the same number every single time. But the lowest number that you get in those 8 rounds, that's your score. So say you hit 15, squats, and when we have the softball team that I work with is one of the most competitive groups of athletes I've ever worked with in my career. So
awesome.
we have to have a depth that we have to hit. So we have a med ball typically that they have to touch every single time they squat, but they do as many as they can. And then whatever their lowest number is. So maybe they did 15 in the first 20 seconds. Really, really good. the next 20 seconds, they only did 14. So now their score is 14. They hit 14 again, they hit 14 again, then they hit 10 because they're tired. Well, now their score is 10, but they have to keep going and keep pushing, because if they keep dropping, that score. So then they get a score for their squat. Then we'll do push-ups. We'll do hip bridges. We'll do, lunges. We'll do med ball slams. Really anything. We'll do pull-aparts and score it. And then they get highly competitive, and they like to see, what their scores are and who wins and who doesn't win. So the Tabata is a very simple, it can be, you can go anywhere from, one exercise, 4 minutes, or you can do, 6-7 exercises in half an hour, half an hour to, 35 minutes.
That's awesome. And I can totally see that being something that friends can do, like in your own houses too, and then just texting each other and being like, this is my number, what's yours? And you don't even have to do it at the same time, and still keeping up that competition. Like, I can see a family competition coming here very soon too.
There you go. Yeah.
But that's wow. That's very cool. I like that.
So, keeping in line with like people that are new to fitness, what would you say, if, especially now, not everybody, I know for me, I don't want to go to a gym. I have zero desire to go to a gym in this environment right now. So, if you're working out at home, what would be some basic accessories or equipment that you should have? And this can be like whether it's household items or things that you should at least spring for, to do basic things at home.
So you can run the gamut on this. You can go from, this is part of the, creativity in my job is when, everything got shut down, we had athletes that literally had full scale gyms in their basement. I could keep programming like they were in our weight room. And then I had some kids that didn't have anything. So we had, they were taking a backpack and loading up their backpack with canned goods from the kitchen, or grabbing a water jug and using a water jug, or a laundry detergent, and having it that. So, and using a towel to do isometric. So you can challenge yourself in different ways with the level of, what you have around the house. So if you have nothing, we can do, isometric stuff. So isometric is holds. So, maybe a wall sit, or a squat hold, or a lunge, or something where you're not moving and you're static. Or we can do tempo. So we slow things down because we don't have necessarily heavier weight.
Make it burn.
If you're doing a squat, you might do a 4-second, 5-second, 6-second, 10-second squat on the way down, go up, and you do another one. You do 6 of those, that's a minute. You do 12 of them, it's 2 minutes long for a set. So without any weight, simple accessories that you can get that can allow you to do even more are simple bands. You can go to any, website and get, just a band, some tubes or band, same idea, where you could choke it, and you can do, some back exercises that really helps with, because it's harder to do that, with some, backpack or different things. Mini bands are very easy. Those are very inexpensive.
Like the resistance bands?
Yep, just resistance bands. But then you can go up to, a great thing to have is, a set of kettlebells. If
I
you
love kettlebells.
Depending on your strength level, you can go anywhere from 5 to a 20 to a 30-pound kettlebell, and you can do a myriad of things with a kettlebell around. You can, there's a ton of kettlebell workouts that you can do. There's certifications that people have just for kettlebells.
Wow.
So kettlebell is
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I didn't know
it was that serious.
I unfortunately don't have one of those, but I know you can do everything under the sun with a kettlebell. And then, if you want to go a little bit more, and you get a set of dumbbells, I think, we actually have them in the weight room. They're essentially the selectorized dumbbells. We have a very, not a huge weight room. So the ideal is, you have a set of 20s, a set of 30s, a set of 40s, and down the line,
Right.
It takes up all this space. We have, and Jenny, you've seen our weight room. It's not very big. We have 12 racks, and we have 12 sets of dumbbells in that rack, because each rack has, a power block system with that. But there's different systems that, it's a set of dumbbells we have ones that go from 0 to 90 and ones that goes from 0 to 175. And they're all in one, set of dumbbells in a, square block, essentially. So those allow you to do everything under the sun. Anything you can do with a dumbbell, you can do, with that, and it takes up no space, and allows you to do, squats, bench press,
Yeah, that's a really
Olympic
good
movements type
point.
thing, explosive movements. So,
Yeah.
Mhm. Because I know, especially once COVID hit in March, it seemed like everybody apparently wiped out North America for dumbbells. I call
Yeah.
myself, surprising Sykes with a weight set, and all I could find were up to 15s. Like 20s and 30s have been out of stock for like the last 7 months. I
Forever.
just stopped looking. But kettlebells, I did not look for, so that may be my workaround. It's a great idea.
So let's go to kettlebells. I have a couple questions about those. So if someone is brand new to kettlebells, they've never used one before, so they haven't been doing strength training, do you have a general, obviously each person is different, so clearly they need to, but a general guideline of what is maybe a good weight to start with that you could do a lot of different kinds of workouts with?
and again, that's it's a question that a lot of my athletes ask when we have a certain exercise. What weight should I start with? And
Yeah.
I tell, I don't know, and that's not the answer you want to hear, but it's very different. So a generally good area probably is around 20 pounds. If you can do, if you're just starting out, 15 to 20, you can do some of you should be able to do some of the lighter things with, but you can increase reps to make it harder.
Okay.
Depending on your strength level, might limit you in some of your, if you're not very strong to do bicep curls or triceps with it, you might need something a little bit lighter. But that 15 to 20 pound range is probably, for a very, very beginner, is probably a decent starting point, and then you can sort of go from there.
That's awesome. Do you have any recommendation of like any apps or any people that you follow that have, because I know there's a ton of things out there for kettlebell workouts, and that, I found ones that I was using actually back when I went to the gym of ones I would follow. So, or maybe some good ones for beginners or just a good variety. Or, I know you write your own, so if you don't follow other people's.
I don't have any for kettlebells. No, I follow a lot of my fellow strength coaches. With that, more athletic geared to some of the stuff. But the best strength coaches are the ones that master the basics. So if you're looking at, you can look at what we do at Fordham and what they do at Alabama and Clemson, and they're squatting to depth, and they're doing full range bench press, and they're doing full range push-ups, and they're doing that. So it's mastery of the basics. So if you find someone that's mastering the basics on Instagram, I don't have necessarily, or in Facebook or for Twitter, someone that's doing the simple things and doing them well, that's someone that you want to follow.
That's good advice.
Someone that there's a million things out there, and they want to do the newest and the latest and the most fashionable thing. That's not always going to get you the bang for the buck. It's mastering the basics. It's being able to control your body weight, like you were talking about with walking. Being able to squat up and down. It's being able to do a push up. On your feet. I don't allow any of my. I primarily, my 3 teams are female athletes. They're not allowed to go on their knees for a push-up. It's not allowed. It's not acceptable. So they need to be able to control their body weight, just as much on the floor, in the pool, on the field, whatever it may be. So, those standards don't change. So being able to control your body is a key to staying healthy, both on the field and just in general, as you age and get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nice picture. That's great. So if someone had, so I love that. So talking about basics, and someone had limited time, let's say 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, take your pick of which one you want to do. What kind of a routine would you recommend? Like you just mentioned, I probably just a repeat of what you just said, but just, you mentioned the squats and push-ups. So what kinds of things would you do, and what would that look like for a very basic workout routine?
So I do some form of a squat. So whether it's a two-leg squat, just a normal squat all the way down, and I am a full range of motion guy, so we're talking all the way down, breaking parallel, so the top of your thigh getting below parallel, or if you're doing some single leg version, so if you're doing a pistol, which is single leg squat, you're doing a rear foot elevated, so you put your back foot up onto something, or something or a front foot elevated is one of my favorites right now for knee health. We do a lot with our athletes to develop their VMOs and keep their knee health. So some form of a squat, whatever, that's the great thing about designing your own workout program. You do what you like.
Yeah.
If you don't have any equipment, you do maybe a squat or a rear foot elevated. You have some dumbbells, you might do a goblet squat, where you're holding the dumbbell right underneath your chin and squatting, or you're doing it's on your shoulder because you like that better with the kettlebell, or you're in a gym and you like the front squat versus back squat, or if you go even one step further, your safety bar, squat, which is a little bit more, but you get to choose what you like to do. You're not pigeonholed into, oh, this is the only thing that I have to do. I have to back squat, and I have to go to a gym, and I have to find a way to put a bar on my back and do it. That's awesome. That's great if you do it, but just getting up, and how many times do you get up out of a chair in a day? Up and down, up and down. So
Yep.
finding a way just to do some form of squat pattern, whatever your favorite one is, and then finding a way to do a chest, a push-up, a bench press if you have dumbbells or kettlebells, or something like that, and then a back, the chin up if you have a bar. I think that's one accessory you didn't really talk about. Is getting a chin up bar for the house. If you can put it right over top of some molding. Chin ups are, we like to call them the squat of the upper body. It's
My brother is obsessed with those.
they're in every program, and like I said, that's one of my big things with my about controlling your body is with my athletes, is having them. We talk about it, we'll do 5-6 sets in a training program, and then we'll do eccentrics on them, so lowering down slowly. So maybe you can't do your first chin up yet, but you're learning to control that body weight. We had an athlete on one of my teams, and she's fighting to get her first chin up. We film it, and she's fighting. She keeps working that eccentric. It's coming soon. And that's one of those
exciting.
things that's going to be awesome, that when she hits her first chin up.
Nice.
So squat, chest, a chest exercise, and then a back exercise, chin up, are the three mainstays that you go to. And then if that's all the time you have, if you're doing a traditional, you can do like the Tabata, or you can do a circuit type thing where you put 10 minutes on the clock, start your 10 minutes. All right, I'm going to do squats, push-ups, Russian twists for core. I'm going to do 10 reps of each, and that's my round. And I'm going to go for 10 minutes, and I'm going to see how many rounds I can get. All right.
Compete with yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next week, I do it again. I try to hit more rounds than I did the week before.
The
next
fun.
round, you do that. Or you can add, another minute or 2 minutes to that metabolic. So you can go for 10 minutes. You can go for, starting out, go for 5 minutes. How many rounds can I get in 5 minutes? How many rounds can I get in 5 minutes? All right. That was pretty easy. Let me go to 6 minutes. Let me go to 7. Let me go to 8, and keep adding a minute on to make it harder that way as well.
Awesome. Man, you give us a lot of good stuff, kid. Thank you. That's
Definitely. Definitely.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is just, I've learned a lot. I'm inspired. And I think our listeners have learned a lot and have been inspired too. So thank you, kid. Do you have any last things to share with us? I mean, you have given us so much information. This is awesome. Thank you.
No, that's I'm glad you asked me to be on. So it's yeah, it's been fun.
Thanks so much for
Awesome.
joining.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. Thanks so
You're very
much.
welcome.
Bye.
That was
Wow.
great. So,
That
I
was
mean,
awesome.
yeah, I got a few tidbits there. I'm definitely excited to look for kettlebells, honestly, because like I said, I just gave up
I
on.
just got one for my birthday, so I'm so excited.
Oh, just rub it in,
Oh,
Jenny.
I mean, you can borrow it. Yeah.
All right. So, we didn't really talk about sports drinks, but I think that, just to sum it up, um, there are a lot on the market. And that really is just going to lead us into our APOD, our body
Hmm.
products of the day. So we do have a line, and Jenny, you can actually talk about that photo right there.
Yeah. So Doc, if you go back, so our Phytosport, when you compare it to other products that are on the market, it has way less sugar than some of the other leading brands that are out there. And the price is far less per drink than the others as well. So you're looking for less sugar in it and better price. The Arbonne Phytosport is definitely a great choice.
Yeah, and I mean that's a win-win, right? You get a better
Hmm.
product at a lower price. You don't often
Yeah.
see that. And the Phytosport line, there's only three, so it's not like this whole big, overwhelming product line. But there's the pre-workout, the during, and the post-workout. It's very simple. So during is the complete hydration. You can see there if you're watching on Enlightenment TV. It's the middle one. The complete hydration is a powerful blend of 6 electrolytes that support optimal hydration that you can typically lose through sweating if you sweat
We talked about
or
sweating.
through physical exertion. It supports the isotonic balance in your body. It's formulated to rehydrate cells, ensuring proper body function and maintaining that throughout vigorous workouts. And the nice thing, in typical Arbonne fashion, we always have an edge on our products, right?
Hmm.
So
That's
it
right.
features an antioxidant
Mhm.
blend consisting of vitamins A, C, and E to fight free radicals generated through physical exertion, and it
Mhm.
tastes good. It comes in a
I was just gonna
tropical
say it tastes
berry
good.
flavor. Like, seriously, and
It's
that was,
good.
like, a couple of episodes we talked about a couple of episodes ago, we talked about, Skin Elixir, and, I remember I mentioned my evening drink, so I actually have that tonight again, and that's what goes in my evening drink is that complete hydration. So, again, for those of us who have sickle cell or any illness where your doctor is telling you to stay hydrated, I mean, everybody is supposed to stay hydrated, but
Mhm.
specifically for people with sickle cell, like that is huge for us. And many times we're told that we have to, drink sports drinks or something with electrolytes. So this
Yeah,
is my
there it
option.
is. Yeah, it's a really great option.
Yep. Random fact, Jenny.
Yeah, so talking about sports and things, and one of my advantages was that I was tall all growing up. So at 5'9", I was pretty much the tallest person in my class forever, all the way through elementary school, all the way through middle school and into high school until 10th grade. I finally looked up to one of the guys in the class. I'm like, finally, someone is taller than I am.
Ironically, I too am 5'9". So there you go. Two healthy tall
Hmm.
chicks.
That's
And
right.
in elementary school, I was always the shortest. I was always front of the line. It was a benefit because,
So
I love being
crazy.
in the front of the line. But yeah, very odd.
Yeah.
That's our show. We hope that you got some nice little tidbits if you're getting started in fitness. If you're not getting started, you've been doing this for a while, maybe you learned a little bit more. Thank you so much for listening to us. I'm Ayana,
And I'm Jenny. And
and we
thanks
are two healthy chicks on SM Enlightenment Radio.
thanks for joining us. Good night.